Now we will discuss a lesson Rural Development from Unit 3 Current Challenges Facing the Indian Economy. Majority poor live in rural. They don't have access to basic needs and agriculture will be their basic source of livelihood. 2 by 3rd of India's population are depending on agriculture. 1 by 3rd of rural India are living in abject poverty. Rural development. Development of areas that are lagging behind in overall development of village economy, like human resources which have literacy, female literacy, education, skill development in health, sanitation, public health. And there is a need for development in land reforms and development of productive resources of each locality, infrastructure like electricity, irrigation, credit, marketing, transport. In transport, village roads and feeder roads. Feeder roads are secondary road to overcome traffic to nearby highways, and development of agriculture research and extension and information dissemination, and poverty elevation measures like employment opportunities need to be developed. Farm and non-farm activities need help to improve their productivity. Non-farm activities need opportunity to diversify like food processing, etc. And there is a need for access to healthcare, sanitation at workplace, education and homes. This will lead to rural development. The share of agriculture towards GDP is less, but dependence are more. Agriculture growth rate is decreasing 3% every year from 1991 to 2012. In 1991, public investment decreased in agriculture infrastructure and inadequate infrastructure, no alternative employment opportunities in industry and service sectors. Between 2007 to 2012, agriculture output increased 3.2%. Credit and marketing in rural areas. Credit. In 1969, government adopted social banking and multi-agency approach. In 1982, NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. With Green Revolution, government led to production-oriented lending of money. Rural banking institutional structure. They are set of multi-agency institutions like commercial banks, RRB, regional rural banks, cooperatives, land development banks. Through self-help groups, they are giving credit at cheaper rates. By 2003 March, 7 lakh self-help groups credited credit linked, which led to microcredit programs. Rural banking, a critical appraisal. Appraisal means evaluation. There are some positives and negatives. If we look at positives, there is rapid expansion of rural banking and impacts on farm and non-farm output, income, employment after Green Revolution. And farmers got credit, services and loans. As a result, we are having abundant buffer stocks of grains. If we look at negatives, except commercial banks, other institutions fail to develop deposit mobilization, which means lending to worthwhile borrowers and effective loan recovery. Other institutions are failing because of increase in high interest rates on agriculture loans, and many farmers were failed to pay back loans and some were deliberately not paying. There is a need to change in approach. The government bank should change from lenders to relation between banking and borrowers. There is a need for thrift and efficient utilization of resources by farmers. Agricultural market system. Agricultural marketing means assembling, storing, processing, transportation, packing, grading, and distribution of different agricultural commodities across the country. More than 10% of goods wasted due to lack of storage. Thus, there is a need for state intervention to regulate private traders and their activities. So, there are 4 measures which are adopted to improve marketing and farmers' income and to give subsidized rates to poor. First, regulation of market, orderly and transparency. There is a need to develop 27,000 rural periodic markets. Second, provision of physical infrastructure like roads, railways, warehouse, godowns, cold storage and processing units. Third, cooperative marketing. Fair prices. Suppose In milk cooperatives in Gujarat and some other states were successful in this. But recently, cooperatives are set back because of inadequate coverage of farmer members and lack of appropriate link between marketing and processing cooperatives and inefficient financial management. Fourth, policy instruments like minimum support price assurance and maintenance of buffer stocks of rice and wheat by Food Corporation of India and distribution of food grains and sugar by public distribution system. Private trade predominates agriculture markets like money lenders, rural political elites, and big merchants, rich farmers. So, there is a need for government intervention in this. Emerging alternative marketing channels. So, farmers can directly sell their goods to improve their income and reduces in price risk and market, like Apni Mandi in Punjab, in Haryana and Rajasthan, Hadaspar Mandi in Pune, Raitu Bazar in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, Uravar Sandis in Tamil Nadu. National and multinational fast food chains are increasing contracts with farmers to cultivate farm products with quality, and they are also providing seeds and other inputs along with pre-decided prices. This will benefit the farmers. Diversification into productive activities. Changing in cropping pattern or shifting from agriculture to other related activities and non-agriculture sectors, because there is a need to reduce risk on agriculture and substantial livelihood. Because in Rabi season between November to April there will be no irrigation facilities and agriculture is overcrowded. So there is a need for shift from agriculture to other related activities. Agro processing industries. Food processing industries, leather industry, tourism, traditional home-based industries, pottery, crafts and handlooms. The negative is there is a lack of infrastructure and support in other agro processing industries. Tanva, Tamil Nadu Women in Agriculture. They train women in latest agriculture techniques at a farm women's group run by Anthony Ammal in Tiruchirunalli, training in making and selling vermicompost and creating savings mini banks through microcreating system, promoting small scale household activities like mushroom cultivation, soap manufacturing and doll making. Animal husbandry is a mixed crop and livestock farm. 70 million small and marginal landless farmers livelihood are poultry 58%, cattle plus buffalo 24%, sheep plus goat 16%, pigs 1%, others 1%. In 2012, India had 30 million cattle, among them 108 million are buffaloes. Dairy sector is increasing in a speed of 8 speed between 1951 to 2014. Like farmers pool their milk with different quality and quantity and processed and marketed to urbans by cooperatives. And other byproducts are meat, eggs and wool. Fisheries. Budgetary allocation and new technologies are improving and their progress is there. 64% in inland source, 36% in marine is a fish production. Only fisheries are contributing to 0.8% of GDP in India. West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Maharashtra and Gujarat are major fisheries producing states. 60% export marketing and 40% internal marketing is done only women. There is a need for credit through self-help groups and cooperatives. Horticulture. India has different climatic conditions and soil condition, so there is a need for adopting growing diverse crops like fruits, vegetables, tuber crops, flowers, aromatic plants, medicinal spices and plantation crops. They will give food and nutrition and employment opportunities. Horticulture is only 1/3 of agricultural output. Horticulture is giving 6% of GDP of India. So India emerged world leader in producing variety of fruits, spices, and second largest producer in fruits and vegetables. And women employment is also increasing through flower harvesting, nursery maintenance, hybrid seed production, tissue culture, propagation of foods, flowers, and food processing. And our livestock production is decreasing, but livestock population is increasing. It requires improved technology, good breeds of animals, veterinary care, and credit facilities to improve production as well. Overfishing and pollution need to be controlled and regulated. There is a requirement of investment in infrastructure and technology and improvement and dissemination. Other livelihood options like IT, information technology, revolutionized many sectors and which helps to achieve sustainable development and food security. Government predicts food insecurity and vulnerable areas using information and software tools to prevent emergency. It can spread information regarding emerging technologies and its implications, prices, weather and soil conditions for growing different crops. Village adoption by MPs. Member of Parliaments, MPs in their constituencies need to adopt a village. Like in 2014 October, government introduced SGSY, Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. These MPs need to develop one village as a model village and by 2019 two more villages in order to cover total of 2500 villages in India. And the plan is to motivate villagers and build infrastructure like health, nutrition and education and make a model village. Sustainable development and organic farming. Traditional agriculture depends on chemical fertilizers and toxic pesticides, which enters into food supply, water sources, which harms livestock, depletes soil, and devastates natural ecosystem. There is a need for alternative, which is organic farming, which restores and maintains, enhances ecological balance. Many countries are using 10% organic food, which have green status, but they are little higher price, which can vary from 10 to 100%. Benefits of organic farming. Locally produced agriculture input are cheaper than high yield variety seeds, fertilizers and pesticides. And return on investment will be more and income through exports since more depend on organic farm. Since there is more demand for organic food and requires awareness and willingness to adopt this organic farming and inadequate infrastructure and marketing to promote organic farming, and which organic farming can provide high quality food, but its shelf life will be less, which means they will be spoiled in less time than high yield variety foods. Organically produced cotton in Maharashtra is an example. Like in 1995, Kisan Mehta of Prakriti, an NGO, suggested cotton uses high chemical pesticides to grow. There is a need to grow them organically. At present, 130 farmers using 1,200 hectares of land to grow cotton organically on International Federation of Organic Agriculture Standards was tested by Germany agency AGRECO, found high quality of cotton grown in organic method. 78% of Indian farmers are marginal with less than 1 hectare of land, but 20% of Indian cultivatable land is that marginal farmers land only. Organic farming is more profitable in long run.